Peter, thanks for joining us this midweek catch-up. Obviously got a really big game coming up on Friday. We'll have a quick look back at last Friday first. I'm sure for everyone involved, we better make it a quick look back. Obviously, a disappointing night on last Friday there. Obviously, a tough place to go, but I know you said post-match it was more the manner of the defeat, especially in the first half, that was the most annoying thing about it. Having had a chance to look back, what are your thoughts coming out of that game?
No, my thoughts have never changed. I'm not usually far away with a synopsis of a game. I think we've seen that when you were going into a very difficult game and people say, how do people handle situations like that? You never know till you're on the pitch. The boys prepared fantastically well. I was delighted with them, as I have been for day one, as I keep saying, and people will be probably sick listening to me, but their attitude and their commitment to try and do the right things has been commendable. But I was really disappointed with the way we went about our business the other evening there. So they know that. I thought we froze a little bit. We were on the back foot from the minute one, really, we lost the goal. And it was funny because if you look at 3 out of the first 4 goals, we have a chance right after every one of Rangers' goals, right for kick-off. It's quite incredible. And that's what disappointed me. There was that lack of belief, and I know that can happen in the games. You can't really prepare for that. As I say, on the blackboard, you never lose a game. And it's how the players respond during difficult situations. I just didn't think we'd done what we were good at. And when the boys look back at it, they're scratching their head because they see the things that we spoke about prior, and they were disappointed the way they reacted and the way they went on. And probably even when we were in possession of the ball, a few times we were in possession of the ball, we turned it over far too quickly. Just basics, throw-ins we had, we gave the ball away for our throw-ins. And you can't legislate for that. And as I said, I'm disappointed for the players because I know they're capable of much more. They've proven that, they're capable of much more. So it was a big letdown for everyone. And as I say, we're disappointed for the supporters because we felt, I know probably a slight arrogance in the respect, we felt we had an opportunity, not because of Rangers in the situation we're in, because we knew they would make a few changes, but we just felt that we're a good side and I was going to go to a place to prove that we are a good side, but unfortunately on the evening that didn't happen.
I suppose the one positive coming out of it you will hope is that the players will be stronger for that experience. In football, these disappointments can always go on and make you better. You'll be hoping that happens with this young squad of players.
Absolutely, and that's what it is. It's a young group that's growing. As I say, I don't like making excuses, and people say be very, very harsh because it's Rangers you're playing. We've been beat 6 there and we've been beat this. I said, I'm not interested. I said, I know what this team's capable of, and I know they can play much better. We've not played that well in the 2 league games prior, and we've not done well in the cup game. So they've been disappointing performances, not the full 90 minutes in them all, but big periods of them. And the things that we're good at, that's the disappointing thing for me, and the thing I see daily, as I keep saying. And probably that's my biggest frustration, because if it's things I was asking that I haven't seen prior, then I'd be disappointed, on myself, because then you're forcing an issue. But it's the things that I see, and I know that these players are more than capable of, and I think you see that with the group of players we've built. I think anybody would agree with that. But it's just been disappointing. But the proof's always got to be in the pudding, and that's what you've got to produce once you get across the white line. And unfortunately, we've not been able to do that on a consistent basis.
Just looking forward, obviously, to Friday. Massive game. I suppose in many ways this might be the perfect game to kind of pick the team up after a poor run of results. There's going to be, a big atmosphere. It's going to be intense. A derby match. These are the games you want to play in as a player. I'd imagine the moods around the camp will be, building, picking themselves up after the weekend and building with excitement ahead of this big game.
Yes, of course. We were in yesterday, obviously, because the week changed a little bit. Because Sunday became our Monday. So we've been in working from then. So we know what we have to do. We know what we have to produce. We know we're going against a very good side. I was at the game yesterday. Aberdeen dominated the first half, as everyone knows. But great credit to Raith Rovers. They kept going. They kept trying to do the right things. They got their opportunity. They had a couple of opportunities prior to scoring, actually, from the free kick. And, great credit to them. And as I say, I obviously played against them enough last year. I know how good a side they can be and are. So, but we're a good side. And that's what we've got to try and bring to the party. If we bring what we've got and I look at the players that we have, we're more than capable of going anywhere. And as I say, producing wins and victories and performances. But you have to do that, and it shows you if you step below and don't perform. As I've said for day one in here, there's a piece of paper between everyone in the league. So we have to go and perform, and you'll have to perform against a very good side. John's done a fantastic job there. The players have near enough been the same group of players, apart from 1 or 2. But he's got a good knack of bringing players in to replace the ones that he's lost with similar types. So we know we're up against a very good side, but we're a good side when we play well. There's no doubt of that. So I'm looking forward to a cracker, sure.
The fans will be sure to travel through in their numbers again on Friday night, as they did last Friday. This would be the perfect way to kind of repay them if you can get a result this weekend. Obviously you'll know how much these derby means, having played in Old Firm matches. Obviously, a Fife derby maybe doesn't have the sort of publicity an Old Firm does, but it's certainly going to be intense, and it's certainly one that impassions the supporters. And if you guys can give back, that'll be brilliant for you.
Absolutely, and the biggest thing is people talk to me. I've been in so many derbies for London, Glasgow, you name them. I've been in them. Norfolk, Ipswich and Norwich, and people talk about intensity. People say, "What's the difference between all the games?" And I'll just say, numbers, the passion, the commitment for the supporters, the demand for the supporters is still the same. That doesn't change if it's one man. But that's the way they want their club, and that's what we're representing. That's what we're hoping to represent every time we pull the jersey on. And I've said that from day one, as I said, because I think it's so important. That's what you're representing. The names on the back, as I say, change all the time. The badge nevers, and that's what you're going out there to make sure you make these supporters happy. And that's our job. That's our only job. And it doesn't matter what football club you're at. Your only job is to try and please your supporters and give them that demand and send them home, as I say, after a game happy. And that's what we've got to try and do. And that's, as I say, that's our job to do that. It's nothing else. That's our job to do that. So that's our demand that we put on the players. They know what they're representing. It'd be fantastic if we put in a performance and get a result from them. And that's one they've deserved. We really appreciate the support we've had from them. And we know the numbers will keep coming back if you keep winning games of football. But we've got to excite them and produce. And unfortunately, we have not produced yet, but the fans definitely have. And it's fantastic to have any supporters back in the stadium now, wherever you go, home or away. And you've got to thrive on the occasions. Unfortunately, the other evening there we didn't. But I'm sure we'll be looking forward to this one. And it's a game that everybody will be looking forward to, and I'm sure John will be in there, but his fans will be thinking the same. They've had a great result against Aberdeen. We've had a disappointing performance against Rangers. Not the result is by the by, but the performance-wise. So we know have to play much better to get the result and the performance. We'll have to do that to get the victory that we so desperately want.
You mentioned it there. A positive result really could kickstart our season, couldn't it?
Yeah, listen, we're more than capable of it. I think in the cup competition we showed what we're more than capable of, and people can say, well, you're not playing Rangers, you're playing Stenhousemuir, St Mirren, Dumbarton, whatever. It doesn't matter. You're playing 11v11, and we've proven, and these players have proven they're very good players, not just when I've been here. They proved it under Stevie last year. They're a very good side and very good players. I think we've added to it with quality, so what we've got to try and do is make that quality count. But to do that, you have to produce all the time. You don't want to be just a training ground group of players, which I see every day. It's when you get across that white line, as I say many, many times, that's where you're always judged. I have worked during the week preparing for it, and the boys do that fantastically well. But now when they go on the Saturday, that's when they've got to produce, or Friday evenings, or the Tuesdays, that's when you've got to produce and get the results and the performances that I know they're more than capable of. And now we have to get that belief back in, is that we're more than capable of doing that ourselves. And I'm sure the boys are like that. They're looking forward to the game, that's for sure.
And just finally, Peter, how are we looking injury-wise, fitness-wise ahead of the weekend?
We're getting there. Kai's come back now from his slight injury. He's done a bit of training that today, so that's a positive. Ryan get another few minutes again, another evening there as well, so that's a positive. He's getting closer each time, so it's been a long time he's been out. We have to be very, very careful. I would take for any reoccurrence at any time, not necessarily on the injury, but just if you push him in too quick. So we have to be very, very careful with that. But I'm absolutely delighted to have these guys pushing now. So it makes a squad, as you say, when you look at it, you think there's quality players there. Now we have to get the performance to go along with the quality that we know we have. So I'm hoping maybe just one or two will be missing, but I'm hoping the rest will be available.
Perfect, Peter. Thanks, and good luck on Friday.
Thank you very much. A pleasure.
Cheers.